Happy Monday. Donnie Baker here with the LPR Sound Foundation. Man, I got something awesome for you today. I'm starting a new series, and I'm also starting a new series of courses that I'm going to be offering to you. You've talked, you've shouted from the mountaintops, and I have heard you. We're going to start talking about Pro Tools. Everybody wants me to talk about Pro Tools. So I've got a whole series of courses that I'm going to be putting together. The first one is called Pro Tools Foundations, an introduction to Pro Tools. Man, if you know nothing about Pro Tools, you've always been wondering, what is it like? What does it look like? How do I do it? What do I do first? What do I do next? Bro, I got you. I'm giving you a little excerpt of one of the lessons today, and it's one of the first lessons. So you'll kind of see what we're going to be talking about. You go old school Pro Tools guys, I'm going to bore you to death, but you might learn something. So let's go take a look at this little tiny piece of this first course. What is up? Donnie Baker here with you. Today I want to talk to you about when you open up Pro Tools, you should see the dashboard. And what I want to do is I want to explain to you what the dashboard is and how important it is for you to have it open and ready to go. Every time you open your Pro Tools, this will save you a lot of time, effort, and energy. Let's go talk about your Pro Tools dashboard. Okay, here we are. Now we are in I've just opened Pro Tools. The screen you see behind it is, I use an Apollo. So you see the screen behind it, that's the Apollo window. So don't let that fool you, that's not Pro Tools. When you get into your dashboard, you can see that you can create a new session. You can start one, see where my cursor is there, my mouse. So you can start with, you can create a new one, or you can begin with a recent one that you've had open. So if you want to just go back to one that you've had open, it's probably the one there on the top. I mean, they're in chronological order of when you open them. So you can actually go back quite far until you clear these. But today we're going to start a new one. Let's create a new session, and let me share with you how we're going to do that. Okay, so you go to create a new session. You can start from a template. Now, we're going to talk more about templates in a later lesson, but today you don't have to have a template set up. One of the best things to do is get into a habit of naming your sessions where it makes sense. Let's name this session. Let's say we're working with the artist Jimmy Joe. For the session name, which is usually the name of the song, so let's just call it the name of the song. Okay, we'll type that in. Okay, you got more choices down here, which we're going to talk more about this stuff in a later lesson, but you can choose the bit depth, you can choose the sample rate, and you can also choose whether you're working in AIF or WAV. We're going to talk more about what that is and how to do that in a later lesson. Down here, you can prompt for location, or if you already know where it's going to go, you can click the go to that location. So I always just leave prompt for location on. Interleaved, we're going to talk more about that again on a later lesson. Let's not worry about that right now. We're just trying to get ourselves organized, okay? So do that, and when you go create, it's going to ask you where you want to save it. I always work on an external drive, and we're going to talk about that more later as well, why we do that and why we don't do that. Okay, so you should always work on an external drive. In this instance, it's an SSD drive, and it's just named T7. So I'm going to go make a new folder on my T7, and we're going to call this Jimmy Joe, because that's the name of the artist. Okay, so we'll create a folder for Jimmy Joe, and let's say we're working on an album project. The name of the album is Jim's Album. Okay, so the song is going to go in Jimmy Joe's folder and in the name of the album, which is Jim's Album. Okay, so see, the name of the song is the name of the song, and we're going to click save. Okay, so there we go. That's done. Now, we've opened into a blank session. There's nothing here. Now we're going to have to go make tracks, and that, again, we're going to talk about that in a later lesson. But if you open from a template, it will already be done. Like, all your tracks will be made, or you can open from an existing session. So this is what your template might look like. It's ready to go, got all your plugins ready on there, and everything's ready. You're all set, you're ready to start recording. Okay, so again, you can still name it the name of the song, what have you. Okay, so one of the first things that you should check is, because you may not remember where you were last time, or someone else may have been using, like in our case, we're a commercial studio, someone else may have been using the system, and they may have changed the playback engine. So we need to go up to set up playback engine and make sure that our things are okay on here. Okay, So I can see that my playback engine is Universal Audio Thunderbolt. Now, the HW buffer size is down to 32 samples. This is what it's needed for when you are recording, okay? So when you are recording, you want to keep it as low as possible, okay? When you're mixing, you want to keep it as high as possible. And what the HW buffer size, it stands for hardware buffer, it reads ahead a little bit, okay? But if you read too far ahead while you're trying to record, you're going to get a latency. You're going to get the audio that you're listening to is going to be late because it's having to run through the buffer. So you want to leave that just the way it is. So make sure your input-output device is the one that you're using, and change your buffer size to whether you're recording or mixing. The disc playback cache, just leave it in normal. Unless you're working on a super big session, just leave that normal. Trust me, you kind of don't want to go playing around with that because it's just gonna, again, you can create a little bit of latency if you start changing this thing around a little bit. Okay, so you may not need that unless you're working on a really big session. This session that I'm working on right here is gonna be small. Doesn't matter, I don't need to change it. I'm gonna leave the disc playback on normal. So now you should be ready to go. Again, I would just save again, just to make sure that things are saved and you're ready to start recording. So that's how simple it is to get started working with a Pro Tools session. Okay, so it's fairly simple, fairly quick. We're gonna go over a little bit more of this on a later lesson, but this one it's pretty simple to get started. Just make sure that you leave your dashboard on all the time. So it's quick and easy and it gets you started quickly, okay? And you'll get used to it, it's gonna be fine. So here's what I want you to do. I actually want you to go create your own session, open Pro Tools, start at the dashboard, create a session, name it, make sure you put it in the folders that you need to put it in, even if you have to make up a name like Jimmy Joe. Just go put it in the right folders and get used to putting things where it belongs. Staying organized in Pro Tools is one of the biggest hurdles that I ran across and everyone else that I've ever spoken to about Pro Tools runs across. The hurdles of trying to stay organized with it, trying to keep track of where things are. You're gonna lose files, but let me try to help you not to lose files. We'll see you in the next lesson. Hey man, hopefully you got something out of that. We talked about the beginning of when you open Pro Tools, click, click, what does it look like? What does it do? How do I get through it? And that's just a tiny piece of one of the lessons that's in the Pro Tools Foundations and Introduction to Pro Tools course. I am going to let you look at some of it right now. I'm going to leave a link right here. I'll also put it in the description down below. I don't have a button for it on my Stream Deck because I have not made it yet. This course is brand new. I just finished. The video you just watched is one of the last video I had to put in the very first module of this course. Yeah, there's 6 modules in this course. I'm taking you from not knowing anything about anything dealing with Pro Tools, and we're going to be going through and recording and editing and mixing and quick keys and dude, you name it. We're going to introduce you to Pro Tools. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but we're going to get you through it. Just come hang out with me for a little bit. Click down below. I'm gonna give you that first module for free. You go check it out. If you want to go further with me, you can buy it inside the program there. But let's go take a look at it, and we will see you guys next week. Man, come hang out with me on Sunday. Every Sunday we do a Sunday Night Live. I'll put a link down here on how you can get signed up to get emails of when we're gonna go live. We usually go live around 6-7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But dude, it's just we get in there, we hang out, we talk about stuff, people ask questions, I ask questions, I tell you all about my awesome coffee that I just made, whatever. Come hang out with us on a Sunday night, man. It's pretty cool. We're just talking studio talk. So if you're interested in studio talk, you want to tell me what your favorite microphone is, I'll tell you what mine is, and we'll get to arguing about which one is better. So we'll see you next week. Donnie B, I'm out. If you'd like some mixing practice, I'm gonna give you some files right here. Go check out this video. It's from a little bit ago, but the files are still there. Go grab them. Mix on it. Send me what you got. We'll see you next time. Donnie B, out.